We got 2 email questions during the break. One having to do with, can you sue the driver of a Lyft? Yeah, well, there it is. Let's see. How does Lyft and Uber drivers deal with an accident in their vehicles? Can the Lyft and Uber driver be sued by the passengers if an accident might happen? Just curious.
Well, like any accident, if that driver is at fault,
right?
Yes. And Uber and Lyft carry separate policies, separate, distinct. Now, one thing that's important for a lot of our Uber and Lyft drivers, they may not understand that their personal policy is very likely not going to cover them if they have not disclosed to their insurance company that they are driving for a rideshare company. Because
well, there's an exclusion in there typically because it's for a business purpose.
Right.
And so if you're doing it for business purpose, there's almost a unilateral exclusion in every insurance policy.
Right.
We say almost because it's not 100%.
You got to look, but yes.
Let's go to the next email question having to do with auto insurance. I tell you what, let's put the email question down. We're going to paraphrase it real fast.
Yes.
Let's take the email question down. Go ahead.
Well, coverages are going to have a per person limit and a gross limit for the whole accident, because they're not going to be a per person indefinitely, because you could hit a school bus. We've had several of those cases like that. And it's not going to be a magic number of always ×3. It could be ×2. It could be combined single limits, whatever. The situation we're talking about here is for bodily injury coverage. If it's 100, 300 as that example, that would mean there's the most any one person could get is $100,000 if they're injured by that person, and the most that policy is going to pay out is 300. So if there were 3 people, each one could potentially get 100 per person. If there's 5, the most any one could get is 100, but they're going to have to divvy up that remaining 200. So it just depends.
That's right. So there you go. Hope that answered your question in quick order. If not, you can give us a call at our office. We'll be more than happy to address this with you. Give you some questions also to ask your insurance agent to go over, especially, we didn't cover this tonight, uninsured motorist coverage.
Right.
But we'll do that another time. Well, actually, we probably need to have a full segment on uninsured motorist coverage.